Have you ever wondered if your wedding day could feel like a dream until it shatters? Imagine being Lina Morales on her wedding morning. Everything was immaculate. The villa overlooking the Amalfi coast, the ocean breeze whispering of fresh beginnings, the designer gown waiting in the suite. All perfect. But right before stepping into forever, she heard a voice through the cracked door that tore everything apart. Once she's out of the way, everything is mine. That line echoed in her ears as the bouquet slipped from her trembling hands. Lina, daughter of modest immigrants, had built a life of quiet dignity. Meeting Matteo, a charming art collector from Florence, felt like fate. He adored her intelligence, treated her with respect, and transported her into a circle of beauty she'd never known. Their wedding, held at a small cliffside villa, rented for the weekend, was to be the fairy tale ending she'd fought so hard to deserve. But then came that voice. She was rehearsing her step in the corridor, rehearsing nothing really, just breathing it all in, savoring every second. The rich pistachio frosting on her cake, the soft by commotion flower girls, then a muffled laugh. Matteo's expression cut through her like he'd stabbed her with his smile, and every plan unraveled in one whispered sentence behind closed doors. Lina's heart felt hollow. She held the bouquet in both hands, petals quaking like her resolve. She didn't knock, she didn't speak. She stepped back, pale as wedding lilies, as betrayal crawled up her spine. Questions tumbled in her head. How long had this been coming? How good was their act? The villa suddenly felt like a stage designed for ruin. She retreated to her room. Her father tried to speak comfort, but his words floated past her. She called her best friend and maid of honor, Rosa, voice shaking. "Something's wrong. I heard something. I can't tell if I'm safe." Rosa, with tears unshed, replied, "We'll figure it out. Just don't do anything yet." And that's the moment Lina decided she wasn't going to faint. She wasn't going to flee. She would stay, because her silence would become her weapon. The sun began to dip toward the horizon, casting golden fire across the villa's stone terrace. Guests arrived in flowing dresses and tailored suits, sipping Prosecco and posing against the coastal backdrop. No one knew the bride's heart had cracked open hours earlier. Lina stood in front of the mirror, calm, eerily so. Her hands didn't tremble now, not after what she'd prepared. If Matteo thought this wedding would make him rich, he was about to learn just how poor betrayal could leave a man. The music started. She walked the aisle not with love in her heart but fire in her chest. Matteo waited beneath the canopy, his smile a performance. The ceremony began, vows exchanged, but when the priest asked for objections, it was Lina who spoke. Calmly, she turned to the guests and exposed everything. The plot she overheard that morning, Matteo's betrayal, and the fact that the co-conspirator sat among them. All eyes turned to Rosa. Her silence spoke first, then a broken apology. Matteo tried to deny it, but Lina came armed, with receipts, messages, audio. Matteo's voice filled the air, cold and smug. By the time it ended, the crowd had turned. Whispers became stares. Stares became steps back. But Lina wasn't done. The guests expected heartbreak. She gave them power. In front of everyone, she served a restraining order and a civil suit for fraud. Gasps turned to stunned silence. Then, music, champagne, laughter. The wedding became a liberation party. Just as the celebration ignited, two lawyers arrived. They handed Lina a folder. Inside, the deed to Matteo's family vineyard. He'd signed it over weeks ago, thinking it was temporary. It wasn't. She owned it. And now she was giving it all to the workers who kept it alive. Matteo lost everything. Lina walked away, not broken, but blazing. If this story shook you, share it, like it, and subscribe for more stories where strength doesn't whisper, it roars.
Still.